Colorado High School Activities Association football is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. High School. It's the visiting Brush Bee Diggers against the Wray Eagles on a pleasant Friday evening. I'm John Beltran with Dave Urig. What a battle we should have tonight, Dave, considering both teams go into this game at 2-0. And even though the Bee Diggers climbed that big hurdle last week, defeating Faith Christian 28-7 at Bee Digger Stadium, we know that Brush's history, especially in Wray, is not a very solid one. The last time we were here was 6 years ago. You and I called the game, and Brush was the state semifinalist that year and still lost the game to Wray 28-12, and which basically tells you that regardless of how good Brush's team is, Ray's going to come to play and certainly a threat to win this game.
You bet. Every time we come to Wray, the Eagles bring a hard-hitting game to the plate. They like to run the football, and I remember back in the Coach Rusher's days, Coach Rusher was a coach for Wray. I remember he ran a lot of the same offense that Brush ran, so it was kind of neat to see Wray run the offense. Then when they punt the ball to Brush, then Brush sends back down the field. But they're usually really well matched up. They're usually matched up really well, and it's usually a hard-hitting game.
Faith Christian threw the football 32 times last week, and that served well for the Bee Diggers, even though there were a couple of breakdowns defending the pass. And we know that Wray can certainly throw the football based on what they've done so far this year.
Yeah, I was shocked last week that, going back to that game, I was shocked that Faith Christian threw the ball so much. I knew that Coach Hubbard wanted to open up his game plan quite a bit, but I think our defense forced them into throwing the football, and it put them on to a different sort of a game plan, something that they weren't planning on or something that they didn't want to have to do. And I know Wray threw the ball a lot more last week, or real successfully last week, and I'm not sure if Wray isn't more of a come into the game, maybe a little bit more balanced. And I think it's going to be just as important for Brush tonight to force them to throw the ball more than they want to and try to stop their ground game.
Wray has won the toss. They've deferred, so the Bee Diggers will receive the opening. Their Eagles are coached by Levi Kramer. The assistants are Phil Kettleson, Trevor Rustin, Terry J., Dave Henson, Brant Wade, and Ed Reed. The Bee Diggers coached by Randy Dreitz in his 11th year, assisted by Ron Albo, Lance Schwint, Dick Creighton, Matt Menier, Ken Garcia, and David Cummings. The Bee Diggers in their road whites with the maroon numerals and the maroon socks. And Wray in their home purple with white numerals, white helmets, white pants, white socks, virtually white everything. The last time the series was at home in 2003, 22-21, so the home team has done very well recently in this series, but as we mentioned, first meeting in 6 years. And to kick it off for the Wray Eagles tonight is going to be Colin Brower, a 6', 176-pound senior. Tonight's kickoff brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offering home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Shea Hansen back to receive. Joe Rosenbrock, both are standing at around the 10-yard line. And field position certainly worked for the Bee Diggers in the opening. It didn't in the second half, even though they were able to drive the ball down the field, but committed a couple of turnovers. So Colin Brower for Wray with that right hand up in the air, and he runs towards that football. And boom, Hansen takes 2 hops. That'll be fielded by Rosenbrock at the 9, straight ahead to the 15 to the outside, and he's hit at around the 18-yard line. Tackle was made over there by Preston Talbert, a 5'10", 145-pound junior. Bee Digger starting lineup tonight brought to you by T.O. Charlie. See T.O. Charlie's for a great used car truck today. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they will find it for you. 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan, T.O. Charlie's. Eric Garcia is the starting quarterback. We'll see Joe Rosenbrock and Connor Weiser, along with Skyler Seawald, who's getting the start in the backfield. Kukas and Hansen, the receivers. We'll get to the offensive line momentarily. 1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 18-yard line. The backs are split, and there's the handoff right up the gut, and maybe a yard, if even that, as Connor checked that. Skyler Seawald was hit there by the middle of that line, starting with Austin Willard, Daniel Hefner, Ethan Brose, Daniel Soto, Austin Acosta, and Gaston Fernandez on the line. Kyle Mears, the tight end for the Bee Diggers tonight. 2nd down of 1 for Seawald, and that's rare for him considering some yardage he can pretty much eat up. There's a handoff left side to Seawald across the 20-yard line, and then he's upended nicely right around the right knee at the 21-yard line. Open field tackle by Justin Fruworth, the 5'11", 152-pound senior, and it looked like Seawald had daylight. He only had one man to beat, but he gained just 2 yards of the play. Check that was Weiser running to the left and not Seawald, who's now back in the game, 3rd and 7.
You know, Ray's come out running a 5-3 defense. They got 3 linebackers back there. They're not lined up straight across from each other. The outside linebackers are a little closer to the line of scrimmage than the middle one, but they sure are attacking. And Brush has tried to run to the tight end side once. They run to the weak side the first time. 3rd and 7 for the 21, and Garcia's hit in the backfield. He kept that football and fell down at the 18-yard line, and he really fell down because of the tackle made by Jack Schwinn, the 6'1", 177-pound junior linebacker. Loses 2 on the play, 4th down and 9, and the Bee Diggers were stymied badly on that opening possession. That time, Brush was going to run that option over to the right side, but Ray came out with the 6-2 defense, 2 defensive linemen down there in the 8 gaps between the guard and the center, and they shot through there and tackled Garcia before he could get out of there. Jared Cure back deep to receive, and that ball bounces into Kukas. He gets it off a very high, gorgeous, spiraling punt. A fair catch called, and it goes off of Cure, and it's recovered by the Bee Diggers at the 40. And there is a flag down on the play, though, at the 16. And Austin Acosta was the one who recovered the football. Flag is all about. It's against Wray. Bee Diggers will have the football. Illegal procedure against Brush. That means they'll have to punt it all over again, but I don't know what Cure was thinking right there. He really didn't have a chance to catch that football in the air, and he's going to get away with it. You know, Rosenbrock, I have to tell you, I think it has a lot to do with Joe because he hustled down the field and he ran right past him as he was fair catching it, and I know he heard those footsteps, and a lot of times that causes you to maybe take your eye off the football a little bit. Well, the Bee Diggers are off to a bad start. They lost 2 yards on the 3rd down play and then recovered a fumble. Thought they committed a penalty, and now it'll be 4 at their own 14-yard line. The last snap was a little bit slow. It bounced on the ground before Kukas could pick it up, and now that's kind of a dangerous thing as he stands right there on the goal line. They need an excellent snap right now, and Cure standing at his own 48, and Kukas had an excellent punt, high and spiraling. Let's see if he can pull one off very similar. Awaiting the snap, and that one is perfect, and Kukas booms this one a little bit end over end. It'll bounce at the Brush 42-yard line. It'll take a side roll now forward towards the 46. Ray takes over in great field position at the Brush 46 with 9:46 to go in the opening quarter. Kukas sort of kicked from the left hash mark, straight back from the left hash mark, and the ball landed on about the right hash mark. So he definitely kicked it away from Cure and tried to keep it out there in the open field where his defenders could get down there and cover the punt. Trevor Blake, Skylar Seawald, Connor Weiser, Kyle Hefner, and Felix Calderon on that defensive line along with Kyle Muir. The quarterback is Brett Blasine for the Ray Eagles. 3 in the backfield. There's the handoff to the deep man running left across the 45 to the 40, inside the 40 to the 39. Cole Beckman, he picks up a healthy 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Joe Rosenbrock was around the football to make the play. Where they just loaded him up like a slingshot. He was about 7 or 8 yards back from the line of scrimmage, and he just followed that blocking back straight ahead and ran right through the middle of the Brush defensive line. Well, Ray looks very good in the early going. 9:20 to go in the opening quarter. No score. The Bee Diggers went 3 and out. 2nd down and 3 for Ray at the Bee Diggers 39. Blasine will hand it off again to Beckman. He runs into Skylar Seawald right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gained half a yard. Him down and was assisted by other Bee Diggers. 3rd and 3. So they have 2 running backs that are up there like blocking backs that are close to the line of scrimmage, and then Beckman's lined up 7 yards back. Those 2 blocking backs are going straight ahead, and then Beckman just flies in there, but it was an easy read that time for Seawald. Well, there's no doubt this is 4-down territory for Ray unless they lose substantial yardage on this play. And 3rd and 3 from the Bee Digger 39-yard line, and it looked like Blasine pulled back early. He did. That's going to be a legal procedure against a quarterback, Blasine. That'll send the football back to the 44-yard line, and both teams have illegal procedure penalties in the opening 3.5 minutes. Well, good thing for Brush, too, because Q was outside. He just ran a quick slant, and Racine just threw a bullet out there, and he caught it on the run.
Left-handed quarterback. Whether that makes a difference or not, the Beat Diggers didn't see that the opening 2 weeks. So 3rd down and 8 to go for Wray at the Brush 44-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Man in motion to the right. Racine, 5-step drop setting. Going over the middle. The pass is complete. First down inside the 30. Spinning to the 27. And still on his feet and down right there is Jones. 109 senior tight end. He was open and made the easy catch. It's gain of Eagle first down.
Well, it was a nice catch. He just ran about in the post pattern and ran right behind the Brush linebackers and right in front of the safeties. He found the seam and made a nice catch and run.
Your full-service florist with a whole lot more is the Flower Peddler. Come in and see what's in store at 322 Main Street in downtown Fort Morgan, the Flower Peddler. 1st and 10 for the 27, handoff right up the gut and driving to around the 25 was the fullback on that play. That was Austin Willard. Gain of about Connor Weiser was it 2nd down and 8.
Backs are lined up. Looks like that's where he just ran right over next to the quarterback from behind the center.
Jones is the receiver to the right. Brower out to the left on 2nd and 8. Looking out, throwing out in the flat. That's caught by Jones. Gets one about 1 Beat Digger inside the 15, and he's thrown down over there by Trevor Blake, but it's a gain of 13 on a pass out in the right flat. Another Eagle first down.
You know what happened? He didn't head upfield at all. He just stood there when they snapped the ball. He stood there and they threw the ball out there to him, but our corner just couldn't get up there and make the tackle. When he did, he flew up there and kind of stuck his arm out and used an arm tackle, but that's not good enough against a big, strong guy like Jones.
Lining up on that right half mark. It's 1st down and 10 for the Eagles at the Beat Digger 12. Racine will turn around, hand it off to deep man, running across the 10 to around the 8. And I think that was Beckman again. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was. Got a gain of around 4 yards in the play. 2nd down and 6 at the Beat Digger 8 yards. What did we see here 6 years ago? I know it's a totally different team, but 3rd down conversions, that's what Wray has done so far in the opening drive.
You bet. They're just making those conversions, but I'll tell you what, the and Racine gets under center and snaps the ball. They don't mess around.
2nd down and 6 for the 8. Man in motion to the left. Racine, quick drop, looking, throwing left. Wide open, the pass is caught. It's a short gain to around the 6, maybe line before Trevor Blake. Morrow, caught over there by Justin Fruworth. Yeah, I think they're only going to give him 2 minutes. See, they spot the ball at the 5. They'll give him 3. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. 8th play of the drive coming up. 6:25 to go in the opening quarter. No score. The Beat Diggers win 3 and out on their first possession. Wray got great field position at the Brush 46-yard line. 3rd and 3 at the 5. Racine. Back to throw, looking, pressure coming, and now, scored to Beckman. Boy, I thought Racine had the football, went to Beckman the whole time, right up the gut. That was a great play fake as far as I was concerned. He scores straight away from 5 yards, and Wray leads 6-0. And I guess the Beat Diggers must have been fooled because somebody touched him.
Yeah, Racine threw the ball goes a couple times in a row for some really good success. But he dropped back, putting the ball up in the air like he was going to throw it, and then it was like a sprint draw. He just dropped back, and then he handed it off to back to stance, and then he took the handoff, ran straight ahead, and the Diggers were kind of on their heels in pass defense.
So, the extra point going to go in the opening quarter. Wray 7, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.